Welcome. I'm Mike Fatasic. Thank you for joining me. In today's video, I'm going to get into a little bit more detail about the HWW formula. If you saw a previous video, you know that the HWW formula is a great tool that you can use to help simplify your approach to achieving a lean and healthy body. Today, I'm going to dive deep into the first W, which stands for what you eat. If you're honest with yourself, you know that if you want to lose weight, you're going to have to change what you eat. Listen, I love pizza and ice cream just as much as the next person, but I know that if I eat those things on a regular basis, I'm going to gain weight, not lose weight. So we want to focus on creating balanced, healthy meals that promote a healthy weight. As a general rule of thumb, you want to replace sugar and flour with whole foods as often as possible. Now, processed foods are mostly made up of sugar and flour, so you can also think of this as replacing processed foods with whole foods as often as you can. Now, why are sugar and flour so problematic for your weight? Well, sugar and flour are high in calories, but low in nutrients. And it's this lack of nutrients that slows down your metabolism and turns your hunger on. If you don't give your body what it needs in terms of nutrients, it will turn your hunger on because it's encouraging you to eat so it can get those nutrients. However, if you eat high calorie, low nutrient foods, then you'll set up a cycle where you're eating a lot of food but leaving your body malnourished. And that is a great way to gain weight. So this is something that we want to avoid. And there's a couple habits that I recommend you practice to help you create the healthy and balanced meals that'll help you achieve the healthy weight that you're looking for. So the first habit is to add protein to your meals, and then the second one is to add vegetables and or fruits to your meals. And when you work on these habits, I recommend starting out by just focusing on one meal a day. Whatever is most convenient for you. For most people, it ends up being breakfast. Now, most people kind of rush around in the morning when they're getting ready, so they usually just choose whatever's most convenient. It'll be usually like cereal, muffins, toast, or microwave oatmeal. So let's take that as an example, microwave oatmeal, and see how we can improve that. So instead of having the microwave oatmeal, maybe we can invest about 15 or 20 minutes the night before making a homemade steel cut oatmeal and then warm it up in the morning. So that way we're already starting out with something that's less processed and more nutrient dense. Then, going back to the first habit of adding protein, we can add a little bit of high quality protein powder to it. And protein is important because this is a nutrient that helps us feel full for several hours. Now, if you just have regular oatmeal, like the microwave oatmeal especially, it might make you feel full after you eat it, but then you end up being hungry an hour or 2 hours later and you end up eating again in the form of snacks and adding extra calories to your diet. Well, by adding the protein powder to your oatmeal, you'll be fuller for longer and you'll be satisfied, and most times you'll be satisfied all the way up to the next meal. So you can avoid adding extra calories to your diet in the form of snacking. The next habit is adding vegetables and or fruit. Now, if we stay with the example of the oatmeal, most people don't like broccoli or asparagus in the oatmeal, but hey, if that's something you like, no judgment from me. But most people want some fruit, so you can take a handful of mixed berries or you can cut up some apples and pears. And by doing this, you really add a lot of nutrition to the meal. This will help keep your metabolism humming along, and it actually helps you feel more satisfied and helps you keep fuller for longer because you're getting more nutrients. Your body will feel a lot more satisfied with this. Now, there are a couple of things I want you to keep in mind when you practice these habits in order to be successful. The first one is to focus on consistency. This isn't about abiding by strict and hard rules. So instead of trying to avoid processed foods altogether, focus on including whole foods as often as you can. Start out small, and then every day think about doing 1% improvements. How can you be just a little bit better by including more protein or more vegetables or fruits to your meals. Okay, number two is you want to remember to replace the processed food with a whole food, not just add more whole foods, because then you just end up eating lots of food. So you want to take away a serving of processed food whether that's sugar or flour, and then and then replace it with a whole food like the fruits and vegetables or the protein. And then the last thing is you have to make your food taste good. I'll say that again, you have to make the food taste good. A lot of people associate healthy food with bland food, which is just nonsense. You're the cook and you are in control. You can add spices or seasonings. You can make sugar-free sauces, and you can cook it in certain ways to make the food taste good to you. So in the example of the oatmeal, you could add a little bit of salt. You could do cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice. You can add a little bit of butter to it. And if you have to absolutely have something sweet, the fruit itself might provide enough sweetness that you don't need to add anything to it. But if you feel like you need to add a little bit more, then you can use a healthy sugar substitute like erythritol. Swerve is a good product for that. You can add monk fruit. Lakanto provides a good monk fruit product. They also provide a monk fruit maple flavored syrup that you can use in oatmeal that tastes good as well. Well, I hope that all those tips will help you in creating a healthy and well-balanced meals for this. In the next video, I'll talk about the last W of the HWW formula, so keep a lookout for that. If you did like this video, then be sure to give it a like and share it with your friends and family. And until next time, be healthy, be happy, be extraordinary.